Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruth Adewale Oluyele. If you're new here, I film on love, marriage, and how to make it work by God. Sometimes I film on life as a Nigerian living in Sweden. This video is long overdue. I've even prepared the thumbnail and still I couldn't just film the videos for some reasons. But here we are today. So I'm going to be talking about my experience in opening a bank account in Sweden. Ordinarily, that shouldn't be a topic, right? But I came to this place and it became like something very Herculean to do, to actually open a bank account. And the thing about having a bank account in Sweden is that when you have a bank account, you are going to have a bank ID, right? And a bank ID is something that you use for a lot of transactions, or it's more like your ID, like your if you're trying to access sites that you need to register, like government sites and all that, you can use your bank ID to access it. It's more like will I say digital means of identification now, even though it's not like an ID card. It's like an app where you can use to make authorizations and stuff like that, right? So it's very important. Like in Sweden, bank ID is super important. You use it for your transactions and all that stuff, right? So, and without a bank account, you can't have a bank ID. So imagine the stress of being in Sweden, not having a bank account, not having a bank ID. I had to manually do some stuff. For example, registering for or applying for my baby's what's it called, child benefit. I had to manually go to Försäkringskassan. That's the Swedish insurance agency, right, to apply for that physically. But if I had a bank ID, I could have just gone to their website and just log in with my bank ID and boom, I do the registration there, and it's even faster, right? So these are like the things that you can use your bank ID for. So it's super important if you are in Sweden to have a bank ID. So let's get right into the story. So I came into Sweden in September of 2023. And I think in October, I already started working on my person number. That's the Swedish identity number. So without that, you are an alien in Sweden. In short, you are not existing in Sweden. So you have to have your person number, like your identity number, right? What I think in the US is called social security number, and in Nigeria is called the NIN. So basically, you must have that. Without that, you are not in existence in Sweden, and without that it's going to be very difficult for you to do a lot of things. So after having that, you'd also now have to apply for your ID card. ID card is also very important. You are going to places that's going to ask you for an ID card, and stuff like that. Yeah, super important to have an ID card. So I got that, and I decided, okay, let me holler at a bank. So I called the first bank, Nordea, and they gave me a date to come. So I said, if you are in Sweden, you know that everything in this country is queue. You have to queue up for everything. I'm not talking about physical queue now. Like if you want to apply for school, maybe for your child, you have to apply on time so that you can be on the queue. If it is about housing, so that you can be on the queue, everything, so that you can be on the queue. So I called this bank, and normally in Nigeria, you just enter into a bank and say you want to open an account, and they're, oh, okay, they're even receptive. Oh yeah, come on, open an account, right? But this one, no, you have to make appointments. You call them, they give you a date to come and all that. And then I was pregnant, right? So the date they gave to me was, I think, 2 weeks or even more apart. I'm not so sure now. So the time that I was supposed to go, of course I was pregnant, heavily pregnant for that matter. I couldn't go, so I had to chill. And when I called them to tell them, and they had to reschedule, they gave me another date, another far date again, that by then I would have given birth. And I don't even know how the condition of things would be at that time. Wait, if I would be able to just freely go out and stuff like that. I wasn't sure, so I just declined it. Okay. So I was just there, this was this year now, and still haven't had any bank account and stuff like that. So I said, okay, let me do the bank. Let me just go for another bank. Downloaded my husband. I think my husband helped me to download the bank form online. This was SCB, so I decided to okay, let me go and open an account with SCB. I filled the form and everything, but the hassle of filling form like that to just go and post it and all that. Well, that's how that one just ended there. I did not go and submit that form. But the thing is, I don't know how I came to know that without income, I couldn't open a bank account. I can't remember how I came to know that. But I got that information, and it became a very big deal. And of course I didn't have any job and like that, so it was something that, so how am I going to get the income, right? So I was depending on the child benefit, so at least that's a form of income. So if the income comes, at least they'll be able to open a bank account for me and stuff like that. So I was also like, okay, let me wait for the time that to start paying the benefit, because the payment of the benefit also involves the process. It's not automatic. You have to register, and stuff like that. So so there was a day I decided, okay, since my baby already has what they call the person bevis, let me just go to the bank to show them that, okay, let me go to another bank. I had a bank close by, Swedbank. I went to Swedbank to say, okay, I want to open an account. I showed them, I even went with my baby just to prove that, okay, I am expecting money from the government since you guys need source of income. And they're like, and the guy was like, no, like they can't open an account for me. I have to show a proof. I have to have proof that income is coming. Like even the child benefit, there has to be proof that the benefit is coming. Hence, I can't open an account. Oh, these guys are serious. So like, so without income, no account. Like, seriously? Like what? So that's how it was. So I was not still waiting for the child benefit thing. I said that because that was the only hope of, at that point, that's the only hope of me getting an account, since I wasn't working. I'm not working, right? So that was the only hope of me getting an account. Like, okay, I was just waiting. Then a few weeks ago, right, I was just talking to my family friends, right, in church, and I mentioned it that I didn't have a bank ID. I was like, why don't you have a bank ID? They're like, okay, like they said, without income you can open an account. They have been in, these people that I'm talking about, they've been in Sweden for like quite a while, and they were like that's not how they knew it, though, that kind of stuff, right? So the way they said it kind of like now gingered me to go online to check, okay, like, can I open a bank account in Sweden without an income? And I decided to, so I went on, I think it was Reddit or Quora, I can't remember, and I saw someone that, like, it was a thing, like people actually had complaints about that you go to a bank and they tell you that you can't open an account with that bank ID without an income. So from all the comments and all that, I saw one that stated that, oh, okay, he had the person had that particular problem, or somebody had that particular problem, but went to a certain bank and they opened account for him without income or whatever. Like, okay, so I decided to call this particular bank, Handelsbanken. God bless those guys. I tried to call them and like, okay, let's see. They told me to, like, I could go to their branch. There was a branch close. There's a branch close to me. So I asked them, well, like, the income that I'm expecting is for baby is child benefit, or that kind of thing. Like, like, okay, it was okay. So I made sure that I settled that one, because I don't want to go to the bank and come and tell them that we don't have income, so we cannot open bank account for you. So I went there and it was amazing. I filled the form, I asked all the normal AML questions, AML anti-money laundering questions and stuff like that. So I filled it and I went home. They sent me a message that, okay, I could now come back to the bank, because you have to, like, fill the form first, then come back to the bank, then they activate your account for you on your mobile app. And they did that for me, and later on they brought the card for me at home. Later on I went back to the bank again so that they could activate the bank ID for me, and that was how I got my bank account and I got my bank ID, which I now use to make transactions. I used to log into, like, for sure Casa and stuff like that. See, it was super easy for me. Like, Handelsbanken made it super easy. Can recommend Handelsbanken anytime, any day. God bless those guys. They helped me open my account, and yup, I now have an account. It's not funny. It's just a very sharp contrast on what happens in Nigeria. In Nigeria, whether you are a student, you are like even children, they open children account for children, even though there is going to be operated under their parents, right? Like everybody opens accounts, whether you have a business, you have work, you don't have work, you are a home, you're a housewife. Everybody has an account in Nigeria. When I mean everybody, I'm not like everybody, like, but generally everybody has an account, right? They don't even restrict you. You can have as many accounts as you want. Nobody restricts. So the banks will be begging you to come and open accounts and stuff like that. But here it's quite different, and it's very different, extremely different. Like, it's just funny to me. So that's how I was able to get an account number or open an account. Almost haven't stayed 1 year. I opened the account last month. I came into Sweden in September last year. So almost 1 year before I was able to have my account. Yeah, that's just the gist of it. So if you're new in Sweden and all that, you don't have income, if you don't want to shalaye too much, just go to Handelsbanken. Trust me, that's just it. It's not a paid segment and stuff, but they really did well for me. They didn't even bother me about all these things. They just followed the process, and that was it. I have my account number, I have my bank ID, and I'm good for it. Okay, if you enjoyed this gist, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and yeah, let me know what kind of topics you also want me to talk about concerning Sweden, and also concerning love, marriage, and the God factor. Right. So until I come your way next time, bye.